Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Hopefully you're staying safe. If you're new here, if you could smash the subscribe button, it really helps me out. And also if you guys could hit the like, it goes a long way in regards to channel growth. Anyway, enough of that. According to the site World Boxing News, Andy Ruiz Jr. versus Charles Martin is in play for an IBF final eliminator. Now it has to be said, World Boxing News aren't exactly the most reliable source in regards to boxing, but sometimes they are correct, and this story did actually catch my eye. I've got to say, in regards to the actual fight itself, I don't really mind this fight, to be honest with you. Both guys are former world heavyweight champions, Andy Ruiz of course being a former unified heavyweight champion. So these two squaring off, I think is a good fight. Andy Ruiz coming off a loss to Anthony Joshua in their rematch, and Charles Martin coming off a solid win over Gerald Washington. That was on the undercard of Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 2. Within the IBF, both guys are highly ranked. Charles Martin is the number 2 ranked heavyweight within the IBF, and Andy Ruiz is ranked as number 5. And you know, considering where both guys are at in their careers, I think it's a fight that makes sense, to be honest. Both guys want to get back to the top of the food chain and fight for a title again, and this fight, you know, providing the reports are legitimate, will provide that. This is an IBF final eliminator, according to World Boxing News. Now, like I said, I actually like the fight itself. I think it's a fairly competitive fight, potentially quite a fun fight. I would make Andy Ruiz Jr. the substantial favourite. Ultimately, I just believe he's the more talented fighter, quicker hands, better combination puncher, you know, better offense, more durable. Ultimately, I just believe Ruiz is a better fighter. But Charles Martin, southpaw, tall and long, you know, he's the bigger, taller man. So I'm sure he'll give Andy Ruiz some problems. I do believe it will be a competitive fight and potentially a fun fight. But this fight being an IBF final eliminator, you know, I'm not really sold on that, to be honest. I mean, we saw Charles Martin get blitzed by Anthony Joshua. I don't really believe anybody wants to see Joshua Martin too. And even Andy Ruiz, I know he's got a win over Joshua, but, you know, that rematch performance really left a bad taste in the fans' mouths. So I'm not really feeling it that this fight could be an IBF final eliminator, to be honest. I'm not really interested in seeing either guy fight Anthony Joshua anytime soon. Now, it has to be said, obviously Kubrat Pulev is the current IBF mandatory for Joshua, so the winner of this fight would have to wait quite some time to get that Joshua fight. So providing this fight does happen between Martin and Ruiz, the winner won't actually fight Joshua for quite some time. And I think that's a good thing because right now, again, like I said, I don't believe anybody's interested in seeing either guy fight Joshua again, especially Charles Martin. Maybe in 12 months' time, 18 months' time, the heavyweight landscape could be a lot different. And, you know, maybe there might be a bit more interest in one of those fights. But right now, I'm not really particularly interested in seeing either guy fight Joshua. And that's, of course, if Joshua still has that IBF belt then. You know, boxing's a fast-moving sport. In 12 months' time, the landscape could be completely different. Somebody new could be holding that IBF title. You know, Joshua's got to fight Pulev, his IBF mandatory, and potentially he might have to fight Alexander Usyk, his WBO mandatory. Who knows, he could lose one of those fights. I don't believe he'll lose to Pulev, but Alexander Usyk, on the other hand, would be a very tricky assignment. So there's no guarantee Anthony Joshua will even be the IBF champion by the time the winner of this fight gets their shot. And who knows, maybe Tyson Fury might even have his hands on that belt by then, you never know. So it's all up in the air right now, but the fight between Ruiz and Charles Martin, I'm feeling it. I think it's a solid fight. You know, a lot of these PBC guys in the heavyweight division, I believe, need to start fighting each other, to be honest, and I think Charles Martin versus Andy Ruiz does represent a fairly good fight. And it's certainly a fight that I would be interested in, and I would watch it. So yeah, I like the fight. I'm just not really feeling the fact that it could be an IBF eliminator. But, you know, that's the sanctioning bodies for you. It is what it is. Share your thoughts below. What do you make of this potential fight between Andy Ruiz and Charles Martin? Again, I stress, this is only a report. We'll see within the next few days and weeks whether it's true or not, but the initial headline did catch my eye. And yeah, it's a fight, like I said, that I'm semi-interested in. Share your thoughts below. Tell me what you guys think of this fight. Peace.